One day, one Benny day, Shepard, no the concert. Because he was prepping us for the next day, which will be the concert. But unfortunately, this time around, we know what we are facing, the coronavirus. So we are only bringing you the youth seminar. And this is the second edition of the Made in Taadi youth seminar. This is by way of welcoming you all to the second edition of the Made in Taadi seminar, youth seminar. And it's on the topic, surviving the vicissitudes of COVID-19, the opportunities the pandemic presents, and the dangers of irregular migration. Manufacturing company where they wanted to explore other avenues to make market, and they sent 2 of their marketing officers to that village. When they went there, they came back with a report. What they said was, oh no, these people, they don't wear shoes, so we don't have market here. Unsatisfied by the marketing manager, he sent another set to that same village, and when they went, they said, this is an opportunity. These people don't wear shoes, so this is a great market. So today, at this seminar, we are taking away 2 things: those who see an opportunity and those who see that there's no market. So I know you came with your notepad, with your A4 sheet. Some of you are going to write it on your phone. Let's please be attentive and grasp as much as we could from the speakers. These are astute people. They've led their and this is brought to you by the kind courtesy of Team Move in collaboration with IOM, International Organization for Migration, and the European Union. So Kofi Kinaata thinks so much about you. Even though he's not going to bring you concert this year, he thought about spending time with you, imparting in you knowledge. So this is why we are here. Without wasting much time, we'll call on a poet, Mark Abraham, to start with us. With a round of applause, Mark Abraham.
Social media. My first poem is titled Say No to Drugs, and I hope you enjoy. The bliss. When I ignorant about the dark side, so far as it gives me pleasure. Addiction, a pill doesn't give bliss anymore. I need to take 6 doses of tramadol, and I'm still feeling for more. Kwame couldn't survive the seizure when he fell on the floor. Rumors in the neighborhood, the eyes were all yellow, but the crave is so impossible to ignore. He's gone. Beginning to wonder if I'm next. Every word will taste pain because I get sleepless night. No hope for a job. I'm so weak like a lazy slum. Every dose I need to vomit. Red, white, green and yellow. The color scared me till my peers began to whisper. It makes you strong. Boost your energy to work. You are too weak. Be a man for once. I began to linger. Sad we live in a society, everyone wants to see your plaster before they give you relief. I'm bleeding, and the only friend close is the same monster digging my grave. I need tramadol. And brief story of a cock and a bull. Because without formalities, who are the peddlers? Don't push us into bandage in private and pretend to dress our wound with bandage in public. Kinaata can't only sew the breeches. Because it takes 2 to tango. Parent, charity begins at home. Spare the rod and spoil the child. Brothers, drugs doesn't mean you are wild, even if it makes you mad in the society. Why should I hide my problems behind drugs if I wake up to face the same reality? You only live once. Protect it whilst we have the chance. Say no to drugs. Say no to tramadol. And be an idol. Thank you. About how society push the youth into marriage, and I hope you enjoy. Jesus was a bachelor. I heard Mary Magdalene was always around him. I remember the beautiful widow he met at the well. Upon all the women he met on his journey to Galilee, if Jesus still died bachelor, then I guess marriage is what my grandmom said. It isn't easy as pouring water from a pot. When she got divorced twice before my grandpa tied the knot. So why society have timeline? Saying everything has deadline. When we should start family, when we should have babies. Why would you point fingers when women tie the knot? If Jesus died bachelor at 33 and still lives in his father's house. And I'm not advocating we stay single and free. I'm saying when our time is due, boys will lose their bachelor's degree. And a wise man will say, put your money where your mouth is. Say that to Catholic reverend who never got married once, but still believes he who finds wife finds good thing, obtains favors from the Lord. And from where I'm coming, I don't think otherwise. Because if not for Eve, we would be walking around naked. I'm sure what happened at Garden of Eden was reason God told Jesus not to choose no woman among his disciples. Because you see, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I've seen men consult oracle about misfortune. But I've seen no man goes to oracle, asks why he's doing well. So I guess society shouldn't yell as when women ring wedding bell. Because inflate and inflate. Inflate and inflate, but the balloon will always burst. And if by any reason you still point fingers when I will lose my bachelor's degree, look inside your shoes and tell me if your socks are not sliding off. Thank you. Mark Abraham points.
Oh, we can do it better and louder. Thank you so much, Mark Abraham. And if you are single, and if you have dark lips like mine, all the 2 poems I punch to you. Mark Abraham. Anyway, we are going straight to why we are here. This is the topic, and this was a word that caused a stir on social media. I'm sure a lot of people know how to pronounce it by now, and this is a test to you. Vicissitudes. Please pronounce it for us.
Vicissitudes.
Wash your nose mask. Please take off the nose mask. Attentive.
Vicissitudes.
Charlie. Intact. Please clap for him. So we are going to gain the skills to survive the vicissitudes of COVID-19. The pandemic presents an opportunity. Do we all agree? Do we agree? I'm sure by the end of this, we'll be sure and we'll all agree or disagree whether it presents an opportunity or not. With a round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Francis Etoahene to the podium. He's the CEO of Etoahene Automobile Company and Etoahene Group of Companies. To join him is Mrs. Marian Ampon, who is the General Manager of Energy Choice Mart. Please join us. So 2 more to fill the seat. And we'll call on the Regional Director, Western Regional Director of National Service Scheme, Mr. Okateche Amankwa Efrifa, popularly known as OKT. Please. Hey, Soja. You see, we always think the way is this way. He's shown us another way. And the last person to join him is Mr. Kwekuchum Berima, who is a management consultant. And, round of applause, please. Amanaso Business Solutions. All right. Hello? All right. So with them here, they will go in turns. and they have 10 minutes to make a presentation. Please put down all your questions. If you have any addition, any input to them, you are welcome as well. But they will go in turns of 10 minutes. The first person to do a presentation is Mr. Francis Etuahene, the CEO of Etuahene Automobile Company, and Etuahene Group of Companies. You can sit or you can be here, whichever way.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Good morning.
If the slides are ready, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm glad to be in your midst, and I can see very great people over here, and I'm very delighted. Let's clap for ourselves. First of all, as he said, I can say Engineer Francis Etuahene, the daytime CEO, the night watchman. And someone will ask, how can someone be a daytime CEO and a night watchman? I happen to be a police officer by profession. But along the line, we decided to go the extra mile, just as we always wish for all our brothers and sisters to be able to accomplish some great things. And I always have the youth at heart. I always want my brothers and sisters to also at least achieve something great for themselves. That's why I deem it as an honor to be in our midst today. We are talking about the greener pastures that we do not see. The greener pastures that we do not see. Africa and Ghana, Takoradi to be precise, is more greener than we even think. Most of our youth think that before they can achieve something great in life, unless they travel abroad or unless they go somewhere else, before they will be able to achieve something great in life. But I urge each and every one of us that there are so many great people who achieve greatness without even traveling outside. They only travel outside for like a week or two, just for some vacation, and come back to manage their businesses. Coming down from Kumasi to Takoradi, I always say this, I came with one sports bag, a school bag, and an inferior Asuami bag. That was the property that I came down to Takoradi with. Unfortunately, where I was living as well, we were living in pairs at police barracks at Efiekuma. And most of us know Efiekuma police barracks. But we decided to leave our comfort zone and to go ahead and make something new for our lives. In police, you are not even allowed to even do business. But I told myself that, is it okay for me to be a normal police officer that people will always call, in quotes, say 1 CD or something? Is that how life is supposed to be? Meanwhile, we have some passion within us that we can still execute it. We can make it up and achieve something great and also impact our generation. My love for automobile developed from that side, whereby I was able to transform the first car gift that my daddy gave me, that was an old Mercedes-Benz, into business. After my daddy passed away, the love I have for him, so I decided to sell off that car. I sold it, I started the buying and selling. With time, I decided to also help other people because people realized that I had the gift of selling and buying. That was how come I was able to break out from the normal standard of living. And by God's grace, fast forward from I came to Takoradi 2012, and now I happen to be the CEO of Etuahene Group of Companies, which won the best automobile company of the year. But the initial stage when we started, it wasn't easy for us. It wasn't easy for us. But let's go through some points. Within COVID, 2020 was a brilliant year. It was a year that we thought everything was going to be okay, things were going to be brilliant. Along the line, COVID-19 came in. And as COVID-19 came in, it taught us great lessons in life. That is when we even realized that as Africans or Ghanaians, we can even sew a nose mask. That is where we had so many inventions about most of these devices to sustain COVID patients. But we say adversity introduces a man to himself. If we've not been through that challenges, we wouldn't have been able to identify that. That is when we realized that we had so many caterers, people who can work even without having restaurants, but will be able to provide service to humanity. All these people were being, identified. Sometimes when you don't face challenges, we are not able to move ahead in life. The question that we are going to ask is, are there greener pastures in Ghana and Takoradi? If yes, why are our youth migrating? Let's ask ourselves, why are our youth migrating? Let's take the Chinese bamboo tree for an example. The Chinese bamboo tree is being planted and it takes 5 years for it to grow. But you have to water it continuously, consistently for over 5 years before it will grow 90 feet tall. With that 90 feet tall, it takes just 6 weeks to grow 90 feet tall. But it takes that consistency. So if we are not able to start something small within our country, how can we reach that level that we all expect to be? It will not be easy starting. It will not be easy, but we still have to move on. We still have to persevere, and we can achieve great things in life. Most of the things that make our youth migrate, most of them are discontent. Like, they are not content with their environment. They want to compare themselves with people living abroad. Most of them also want to, because as a result of weak institutions, peer pressure. And I'm just touching on some of these points. Our institutions has become so weak to the extent that when a young man desires to do something great for himself, let's take it that someone even wants to register a business. The opportunity the person will even get to register the business, you have to see this person, you have to pass through this protocol, unless you see this person. And as a result, most of the youth will even give up. Our institutions are not working. As a result of that, most youth think that, okay, over there, institutions are working, so as a result, they have to migrate. But these are things that we have to, at least, we have to work upon. And it's our collective effort. You sitting over here, you belong to an institution. How do you relate to people? How do you serve customers? Do you always look at this person, okay, this is Mr. A, this is Lawyer Buckman, so I have to serve him with all my heart? Or we treat each and everyone equally? Sometimes you move to some offices, and even before the person will even attend to you, as if you are nobody. Until they get to know that this is Kofi Kinaata, before they will give you that special treatment. It's about time we all work on some of these things. People think lack of job opportunities. It's true, but I always say that we always have to go where there is no path and leave a trail. We can all start something. We can all start something as youth. We can all start some great things. Small beginnings. This is my property I came down to Takoradi with. This is my great property that I came down to Takoradi with. And I tell you, Takoradi is like a family. Takoradi is a great community that whatever that you start, if you are able to do it and do it well, it will pay. It will pay for it. Going forward, when we discovered a Triangle to mobile consult premises, that was when we started. We didn't even have money for for excavator works or for any machinery work or something. I was reading by myself. I would go for night duty today, close around 6 a.m., sleep like 2 hours, go back to the grounds and prepare it. We had a dream. We didn't have the finances. But sometimes we need not to think about the finances. Most people always say that I want to start something, but I don't have the capital. Anything that is worth doing is worth doing badly. Anything that is worth doing is what? It's worth doing badly. You don't have the skills, you don't have the techniques, but you can still start it anyhow. Just like Joseph. Joseph had a dream, but he lived with, despite all the challenges he went through, he was able to achieve all the dreams that he had, and he became the prime minister in Egypt. Going forward, we say, how do we eat an elephant? Let's ask ourselves, how do we eat an elephant? You can't just swallow the whole elephant, can we? Can we swallow the whole elephant? We can't, but we can. The answer is we can bite it one at a time. We can bite it one at a time. Whatever goal that we have, whatever dream that we have, we can start it small. You say, if you can't start small, you can't even start at all. We may have dreams at youth. I mean, we may have some vision. The vision is always big. But once we are able to start it small, most people want to start business and the next day they want to be in cars. Most of our prominent people that we see here, talking of Lawyer Buckman, talking of all great people, even Kinaata, our brother, almost all our senior men over here, they can tell you their story. They started very small. It wasn't easy. You face the disappointment, you face challenges, but you started one step at a time. You have goals. Goals can be grouped into annual goals, we have monthly goals, we have weekly goals, daily goals, and even hourly goals. The things you can even achieve within an hour. And gradually, you will be able to make it. After that first image that we showed you, this is the current state of Etua Hino to Mobile. Everybody sees Etua Hino to Mobile. And he thinks that it was being initiated by some Dadabi. As we all know, they will never power brutal or the cars breno. But near Neobia. Just started in the Kakrabi. Me catch a minianum and ranty and Mabawa. Say, Yensu and started Kakra. And Kakran na ye betty me. And kakran na ebeye den ube face challenges, disappointment, even obia woji need ye pani bi mpo when it done so say anko no mpo be so crying onumpo na obekọ no obeka che so no me nu agya de o ye no na emu. I remember when I started, senior police officers called me and they were like, just hide this thing, don't bring it to the public. The moment you do it, it will affect your work. I told them that I'm just going to do it anyhow. And now they all come back to me and be like, Charlie, you've done well. God bless you. It's not just by our mind. God has been, on our part. It has always been God from day one. But whatever dream that you have, once you're able to start it, once you establish a reputation for yourself, along the line, it will even cause people to even sponsor your business. Reputation is one of the key things that we always talk about. And this year, 2020, Etua Automobile Consult is the 2020 Automobile Company of the Year. We happen to also have Scanless Construction and Block Factory located at Asokwe Saman, which is also into construction. We have Etua Hene Foundation and other companies as well. But it's all as a result of the small beginnings. So my brothers, my sisters, we can be in Ghana and we can even do far better than those living abroad. You won't be no more ultimate to crying. Papa no ne mama no more to crying. Honorable meboa. Ultimate to be a quantum. Just an ho chere na ma ese wo mpokwa osa ma na kakra sa hye ne ho. But yet yes o me brother wa brochire. Obi kwa abrochire a adwuma anka wo Ghana ha de man so onye no. Obeka so onye. But okwa abrochire a obeye. Meanwhile, you bet me most of us are your Ghana, you're doing so okay, may teacher, may Jumawaha, and me kwano pass 8 by 5 mapon. And yes, sir, even after 5, no, that is where your main work begins. Your job is different from your work. Your job is what you are paid for, what you take salary for. Your work is your gift, what God has given into you. Let me end with this. Les Brown always says, imagine you're on your deathbed. And standing around you are the ghosts, the shadows of the dreams, the ideas that came to you when you were alive. And as you are dying, they are all around you with large angry eyes. And they are weeping, crying that we came to you. Only you could have brought us to life. The music that came to you, that you could have sung, just as Kofi Kinaata gave us so many, songs that has changed and impacted the world. You could have also done same. You could have established a company that your generation will also come and benefit. But you didn't do it. And as you are dying, they are all dying with you. The question I'm asking is, what dream, what ideas are going to die with you? Live full, die empty. Don't live with your music still in you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Francis Etua Hene. We can do it again for him. Live full, die empty. How many of us got that? Live full, die empty. Charlie, you ever gonna? So the second person, I hope you are jotting down your questions. I hope you are doing that. Anyway. The second person is the general manager of Anaji Choice Mart. She's the vice president of hospitality at the Sekondi-Takoradi Chamber of Commerce and Industries. A proud old student of Wesley Girls High School, Mrs. Marian Ampon. With a round of applause, please.
Thank you for all that. Now, you're going to give me pressure. Good morning, and I hope we are all doing well. Okay, that's good. I don't even know how to follow in your footsteps now. So basically, I wanted to talk to you about surviving the vicissitudes of the pandemic, and I wanted to talk to you from a woman's standpoint, how I see it as a woman, how it's affected women, how it's affected children, basically. I start by quoting that Aristotle, one of the most notable of the Greek philosophers, once said, "Man is by nature a social animal. An individual who is unsocial naturally and not accidentally is either beneath our notice or more than human. Society is something that precedes the individual." So basically, we are all born into society, and Corona has really affected our society. Can you please bring it down a bit? Can we all see, please? I just want to refresh our memory with some data about the virus. So basically, worldwide, there are 77,307,971 cases. Can you imagine that? People that were infected with this pandemic, this disease. And out of that, 43,570,827 of them recovered. But sadly, 1,701,085 people, they died all around the world, in America, in Asia. All these people lost their lives to the pandemic. And it's really wreaked a lot of havoc in our society. We're told that more people died to malaria than to corona, but yet corona has changed our world in so many ways. How we do things has shifted. There's been a seismic change in this world because of corona, and there were opportunities too that were realized. So for the first time in my life, we didn't celebrate Easter. Our entertainment, our religious activities, our way of life, our health, and our health care was all affected by this disease. Our politics, our education, our sports, hospitality, my sector at Sekondi-Takoradi Chamber of Commerce. A lot of people couldn't come down. People couldn't travel. The hotel industry, they lost a lot of income. We have a restaurant at the Choice Mart, and we suffered bitterly because people were not allowed to come out and eat. So this has really affected us. I had to cut the pay of our people, some of our employees. I know some had to be let go, but I thought about it and I said, I'm a mother of 3. The people who work for us, they are mothers. Some are young adults. How do I look into their faces and tell them we're not doing well, and therefore I'm going to send you home? You haven't misconducted yourself. You haven't done anything wrong. But then again, the cash flow is not that great. Therefore, you're going to go home. I couldn't do that. So I spoke to them and I said, we're a family. This is what is facing us as a nation, as a world. Is it possible to take a little percentage of your pay so that we can survive? Rather than letting you go home and sit at home without any work to do, without any income, can I just take 10%, 20% of your pay so that we can all keep our jobs, so that when this pandemic is over, we can all still have jobs to do? And they agreed. They agreed because the youth, they are our future. The youth are our future. Women were the hardest hit by corona. Women already receive less pay for the same job that a man will do. It's, in some industries, a man will be paid, let's say, 40,000 for a job as an engineer, but a woman will be paid 30,000. And I think that's not fair. Corona exposed some of these things even the more. It basically affected our transportation, everything. Our kids had to go to school online, and if you don't have a computer, how can you log in and then go to school online? But through it all, there were opportunities. We had to wash our hands, and the entrepreneurial spirit in some of the youth, it came out. Some people used barrels to create wash hand basins, different things. And this is very good, and I want to encourage everyone. When we have pandemics, when we have misfortunes, it's up to you to look through yourself and see what you can do. Instead of saying it's a curse, there's always a blessing. There's always a blessing. There's always an opportunity in every misfortune. And I think a lot of people made money through this, even though some of us lost money. The people who made nose masks, I'm sure they made wonderful money. Initially, there was this face shield business. A lot of people went to China and imported these things. And they made money. When they saw the need first and then they brought it down, they made money. Some of us lost money because we didn't see the idea we didn't see the opportunity before they did. But it's all good. I'm saying that there's a lot of opportunity out there. As youth, as women, as young women, there's a lot that we can do. There's a lot that we can do. I'm a woman, and being the head of an organization, first of all, they see you to be less than. But no woman here is less than. Anything a man can do, we can do it as well, and sometimes do it even better. Yes. I thought I'll get a clap over here. Or the men are not happy with that. And even at Sekondi-Takoradi Chamber of Commerce, I take pride in the fact that I'm the only female executive. It's something. So everyone has something in them, and we can bring all these things out to help society. We all don't need to travel. We all don't need to go to America. We all don't need to go to the UK, the Spain. If you look at it right now, they are so bogged down with this disease. They don't even know what to do. There's lockdown everywhere. But here we are enjoying ourselves. Christmas, we can have a good Christmas. Some are locked down for a month and over, and they can't do anything. So we have to look beyond. We have to look beyond this pandemic and see the opportunities. Just when we started, MC was saying, someone said, they don't wear shoes. Someone also said, they don't wear shoes. This is an opportunity. You can look at it different ways. Perception is very important. So sit down, do a self-check, and see, what can I do? What can I do? There's a guy that I know, and he spent over $5,000 to try to go to America through connection. It didn't work out. So I told him, that $5,000, you could have started yourself a small business. $5,000 is a huge amount of money. You could have started a small business with that. And who knows? You could be head of a business. Yes, you start small, but then again, you progress. But the youth of today, some youth of today, they're just in a hurry. Because of social media, they see things and they think it's that easy, to get up there. But you have to take your time. You need to take your time. All the men and the women that are here today, that are heads of organizations, they've gone through a process. They've gone through a process. And if you're going to take your time, if you're going to be willing to go through the process, it's going to work out. But anyway, the corona, again, I said it laid bare some of the cracks and inequalities already prevalent in our society. So I talked about gender, how people are paid far less, how women are paid far less for the same thing that men do. And also the ever-widening gap in the rich and the poor. We realized that the rich were able to help themselves better with this corona. They were able to afford healthcare, unlike the poor. And the illegal migration, those who were illegal immigrants through this corona, they didn't have access to healthcare like the legal migrants were. And educational and healthcare, I'm sorry, I'm even struggling to see what's there. Let me get it from here. Educational and healthcare inequalities. Yeah, this was all laid bare. But just to let you know, once again, please, let's not lose hope. Let's not lose hope at all. The opportunities are there. Choice Mart, we employ a lot of youth. Rather than you being out there on the street, please do something with your hands. Right now, we are shifting from block and mortar retail to online, e-commerce. So if you can get yourself into some training so that you hone in on your computer skills, because very soon a lot of things is going to be online. So please, the youth, get yourself involved, find the opportunities out there, look for them, and then get yourself prepared, because the shift is here and it's here to stay. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Marian Ampon. So after hearing all this, and you go and pay connection man, wallow. Or some people are still determined. I'm sure by the end of this session, a lot of minds will change. We'll know the opportunities we have here, like we've heard from Etua Hene, like we heard from Marian. They're all giving us some areas if not paid attention to. The next person to talk to us is a man who's going to give us different perspective as well. And anytime he speaks, there's something to take out. A lot of friends think I know more about the Western region and Sekondi-Takoradi. And I can tell you that he is the well I always go to when I need anything historic. With a round of applause, Mr. Kwekuchum, very much.
Ago. Boss, I'm a chapel. A crubia can say we are the sanitizer or dear home. And son of them and the next person. And see if you are my yen them na on ye. I'm out for one free ye. Quit meeting for one free ye. I'm on a Marabano, I'm Bomu School. St. Mary's Old Boys, one free ye. Ha, I am St. Mary's Old Boys, no quit meeting. Yaba. Thank you very much for being here to listen to me. When we were coming, the Akrachifo brought things and they put them here. And we had management theories also coming in. And see, I'm a man cabete. Minifico. And see, since I'm not done, I'm at to consume him way. Say what? Na why? We have spoken about this pandemic. My classmates around my year or group mates around will bear me out. In our time, we didn't have a pandemic. I na mpruke na orihen na yenan tim mfamfna yemu pina yen shampa wanti yenan tim ina yen mfamfna na iju pa yitiri mina ye ju ne yede sansan ye ho na nchom. Some of the people do not know Inchumo. Yeah, in Chompa na Oyehen. We didn't have a pandemic, so it will be a bit difficult to get historical antecedents to a pandemic. Say, or if an improve na in Chomana there, Onadenka, Yibenyepi Yaka. So I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm not going to talk about coronavirus. I'm not going to talk about things because people have spoken about them already. But since it's a Kofi Kinaata show, I'm going to talk about the other one. Where is it? Migration, irregular migration or something. And I'm going to tie it to music since it is a Kofi Kinaata show. Some time ago in this country, we woke up one day and let me put it the way a certain woman put it. O see, that's sorry, anopa. Yet is a po. Adaya. Yes, Bruni baby, a friend JJ Florence. And now about what you do near the 2 months for my po and me. Then the next day they said we had a revolution. A lot happened in the revolution. To our music and irregular migration, it's a little bit hidden. So I'm going to speak my mind this afternoon. When the revolution happened, we had the curfews. In the curfew, in the curfew. And there were people who were also trying to stage counter coups, who were trying to push the soldiers who came away So we had Major Suleimana coming in, we have Sergeant Awal coming in, we have Sergeant Tanti Adomore coming in, we have Lieutenant Tachana coming in. All these guys also came to stage Kantakus, trying to push away J.J. Rollins. And anytime there was a Kantaku, there was a curfew. 6 to 6. No about 8 to 6. No about 10. No about 12. But always there was a curfew. And this is what happened to Ghanaian music. Because we could not go to Ahimfie to go and, lawyer. He knows what I'm talking about. Because we could not go to Ahimfie to, and because we could not go to Kwesimintim, Arizona, and those places to go and watch the concert parties, what happened? All the musicians, irregularly migrated elsewhere. The guitar band musicians went to Nigeria. The dance band music, I don't know what my dance, they went to Europe. Examples: we had a group called Classic Handles, right? And we had somebody like Osibio Prempe. We had somebody like Sloopy Mike Jemfi. Do you remember Sloopy Mike Jemfi? Seminya telephone bia. Telephone Como, you remember that guy? Yes, he was playing with Classic Handles. And then Julius Enchi. Those days he was called Julius Enchi. Today he's Kojenchi. These guys were playing in a group called Classic Handles. They went to Europe. They went to Switzerland. Irregularly migrated Anamowa to Europe. Then they formed a group called Classic Vibes. Then from Classic Vibe, we had Ankwanume, Ankwanoma Nadia Sound, Ankwanume, Ankwanoma Nadia Sound. Do you remember that one? Suku ya yen kobio. Asori ya yen kobio. Tegale enwan ye beko. Classic Vibes, who irregularly migrated from Ghana as Classic Handles. And Osibio Prempe and Uncle of Water on Buchum. If he nature, then we had Joydakon, Eko Tibrofo, Amanfu Eko Tibrofo, Ananum Painful, Fititi Eko Tibrofa, Ananum Free, and also Obichum. And I could fruntum bewo, Mata Chinesube, Uachidi, Bakunfu, Ubibini bewo, also ordinary then Obuchum, and a Boga Her Life. Or started there, Oroba. I want to walk to Nigeria. Those who went to Nigeria, they also didn't sleep. Or one, a crime maybe don't know I then, or they would chum. Amagane metewana ma yedi. Amagana metewana ma yedi. You remember that one? Conados. No, what the word about? Consiona na titi niaba ya kejeti anwaya me boni. Odemi come bie, eje no ae. Odemi come bio. Now, what they were in Nigeria, right? Then there was this guy, nice guy, but he was called Abrechieba. I really don't understand. Nice guy, but he was called Abrechieba. Abrechieba Kofi Same. Yellow, 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 yellow sister. Waiting the Kosamo, Kofi Kinaata, money palava. Ordinary de Buchum. Wogu Nigeria, Wobo, no de Bogum. Even when you go Bruchir, I want to Wobo. There were two groups, the guys who played the dance band music, I crash forward and I want to walk or dance, These were the guys who went to Europe. And those were the guys who started the Boga Her Life thing. And then the second group is the concert party group who went to Nigeria. And they played from the Amachi Dede was there. Amachi Dede went to Nigeria. Kwabena Kunodu went to Nigeria. These guys were there. And they played into a Ghana. And even soldiers who had staged a coup in Ghana and were being chased. Those who were musicians also went to Nigeria. There was a sergeant, I've forgotten his name. Adomanko Nyameche. This sergeant called Adomanko Nyameche. He was a sergeant in the Ghana army. And they wanted to kill him because he had staged a coup. He went to hide in Nigeria and he was also playing music and it was coming in. So, irregularly migrated Monya careful. Monya careful. Monfame mfa kumasiano. Irregularly migrated to Europe. So we see what happened. Then along the line, when things begin to normalize, we heard that Aha Life is dead. Aha Life is dead. And then we had this guy called Osei. Teddy Osei. Is it Teddy Osei? No, Teddy Osei was the old man. Your Osei, what is your Osei's name? Reggie Rockstone. Yeah, when I say your Osei, you mean what I mean. My Osei is Teddy Osei. Reggie Rockstone. He and a few other guys, Samini, those guys, they picked the pieces of the High Life that was left. They put it together and called it Hip Life. And then we, the old men, instead of being honest enough to congratulate the young men, most of us decided to criticize the young men. Why say I gonna High Life? Oh, don't mind them. Why say I gonna High Life? They actually did not say Ghana High Life. What they did was that they picked the crunches, the bits and pieces that was left after all these years of so-called revolution has driven our music out of the system, has collapsed our High Life. At High Life, I tell the chapel dame pe no wobo High Life wobo unse mo de so High Life was gone. So it was Reggie Rockstone and those young people who picked the pieces and put them together. Kofi Kinaata name in Abosum. One month of my young people. So my brother, that argument has been going on. Some of us, the old ones, the old school, we have been saying that the young people have killed Ghana High Life. They haven't killed Ghana High Life. Ghana High Life was killed by a so-called revolution. It was the young people who picked the pieces together and gave us what we have now. Intimacy yet here, on said High Life, papi, yeba fana dama, Usanda said, Reggie Rockstone, Ena, Mranseno, Wamba, Akrona, Philomena Petting, Onupo Investis here, or friend and TikTok. All those guys, if they haven't come around, if Samini hadn't come around, if Kofi Kinaata hadn't come around, in Kaya Life, in Kawai, then we go. So, irregularly migrated to Europe and Nigeria, our High Life. Thanks to Kofi Kinaata and his group, we still have our High Life. Thank you.
So we are obedient. We have this hand sanitizer here. I guess it would only be fair to give you as you've held the mics. Thank you so much. Oh, we can do it better for Mr. Chumberryman. So I remember when in 2013, when I was going to do my national service, a lot of friends just shared, whether for fictitious reasons, whether for real reasons. Some people had postings to chobas. Did you see it? Did you see it online? Some people had mortuaries. Others had places where we thought it was funny. So I interviewed this man who told me, yes, some of them are true. But the choba, I don't know whether he was running away from it or wanted to polish it. I have no idea what he wanted to do with it. And we would want to have a fair idea, would want to have that insight into what national service is all about. And just to acknowledge, this program is brought to us by Team Move. Kofi Kinaata is our CEO, and I happen to be the public relations officer. It's brought to us again by International Organization for Migration, IOM, and the EU, European Union. And to also acknowledge, we have people from Father's Home Orphanage here and HM Orphanage as well here. We have millions of people watching online. There are some comments online. Black Pearl says, nice one, very educative. I love it. Dora Usu says, I love your presentation. I don't know who exactly she is talking about. I'm sure one of the speakers or all of them, probably. Wizi Ferai Seb Taadi says, Nyansa Poman. Simba Lion says, nice. Cindy Abena Osnat says, nice presentation. Watching live from Kaswa. Team, move. Chris Larry says, team, move. If Yokuma Jesus, hey. If Yokuma Jesus says, okay, and Clara Peterson is clapping. I'm sure we also clap for the next person who is coming to give us presentation on national service. His name is Okateche Amankwa Afrifa, Mr. Okateche Amankwa Afrifa, the Western Regional Director of National Service Scheme.
Well, Nana, thank you. As somebody being posted to a chopper means the person did catering. Well, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be part of this year's seminar, and very happy for Team Move for inviting us, because there is a new national service, and we need fora like this to explain, for us to understand. We've got to realize that previously, national service was more or less the cause of unemployment in this country, because we were just posting people in quote by heart. But those who have been following the national service scheme for the past 3 years, or let me say after the national service scandal, you realize that now we post people to where they are needed, and we post people to by their qualification. The only disadvantage is, in Ghana, even if we are going to heaven, we want to use protocol to go to heaven. Some people think they can use protocol to go to heaven. That is the problem. After my presentation, you get to realize that it is not us, but it is our applicants. I'll just entreat you to know that national service is not a punishment, but it is part of your life. It is part of your courses. If you are doing a 3-year program, let national service be your 4th-year program. The 4 years degree, let national service be the 5th one. It's very, very important now. Very, very, very important. Without it, you can't move. And it can also give you a lot of opportunities, depending on where you are going. My brother, let's move on to the slides very quickly. To the definition, yeah, what is national service? Good. As you can see, national service is a mandatory exercise by our constitution. That's the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. It started long ago, around 1973. During General Champon's Operation Feed Yourself, they decided to use students and other people to do voluntary work. Others too were put into the military. That was where the country was having a lot of coup d'etats. And people think that if you get more young people in the military, you know, you can get whatever you want. And that was the time national service started, in the 1973. But in 1980, there was an act. That is what we are using now. Act 426. And that makes it mandatory for every tertiary student, Ghanaian, 18 years and above, to do national service. And now, without a national service certificate, it will be very difficult for you to get employment. I'm even hearing that now some of the embassies, if they realize that you've completed tertiary education, they ask of your national service certificate before they give you the visa. I'm also hearing that before you can even register your company as a young person, they ask whether you've done national service. That is what is happening now because it's a legal framework of this country. So please, I'm just entreating you, don't let us joke with it. It is so important before you can move on after school. Our vision is to give the youth leadership skills. Wherever you find yourself, you are a youth, you've just come from school, show your leadership qualities, and that can get you something better. Most of these times, we have our big men here, they know that national service personnel, most of them are very truant, they just pass through the system, and after the 1 year, you come and say that your grandmother is worrying you because you didn't get employment. But there are others too, even because of their attitude and the way they do their things, even if there is no vacancy, the institution manages to employ them. So please, it is just for you to come up with whatever gift that you have. That is our vision. And in the long run, you get the benefit. As for our mission, everybody knows we mobilize and we deploy Ghanaian citizens 18 years and above for national development. Our objectives are plenty anyway, but I'll be very snappy with them. We supplement the manpower shortfalls in both the public and the private sector. We also offer personnel exposure, sense of civic duty, and volunteerism. And we help personnel to also acquire working experience. Sometimes you can get a place. This is the main reason why now we've decided to post people to where their qualification is needed. We have a lot of, in previous times, it was the teaching field. But now you bear with me that because the colleges of educations are now doing diploma, which is a tertiary program, we have the teachers also doing national service. As I was coming, they've even started registering. That is, those who are doing it for next year. So if we have teachers, if we have people who have done bachelor in education, why do we send these people to the industries and to the other institutions whilst there are schools, or vice versa? It is no more like that. We also provide essential services to, hey, my brother, you are not going with me. Oh. We are also aimed at providing essential services and amenities, especially in rural areas. I know this is where people have issues. You know, when you are posted to a rural area, there are a lot of benefits because there are some of them where you won't even spend on accommodation. Some of the rural areas, they will take you to the Ahimfie, give you a good accommodation because they know you are coming from town. That place, you don't need any serious dressing. You won't take transport. You will also be fed. But we don't want that. We don't want to impact on the rural communities. And most of the rural communities, there are a lot of links that we don't know. Assuming you are living in Ahimfie, and let me use the president of the National House of Chiefs as an example, Ojeahoho JB. His traditional area is the Sefiahwiaso traditionals too. It's not even at BBNU. It is at Ariasu. From Ariasu, then you get to BBNE. Imagine you are doing your service in Ariasu. You are staying in Ojeahoho's JB's house. I bet you, if you have good character and attitude, By the time you finish service, this man can connect you to where you want to be. Because I know he is the board member of GMPC board. So depending on the rapport that you can have with him, because most of these places, it is in fear that you go and stay. And some of these chiefs, they are on very important boards. If you're even lucky, depending on your vision with him, you can get a land and start maybe farming, which will be very lucrative. Somebody like Tetrete JB, what is the name, the president of the Regional House of Chiefs, Tetrete, his palace is at, how do you call it, Wase Kropon. He also lies the youth. He's helping National Service very well. Most of the people who go to Wase Kropon, they stay at the palace. And he engages them. If you don't get a land, I know he's also on some 2 boards, the railway board and one, I think, bust also. So imagine you getting these links. But sometimes we think that when you go to the rural area, we are punishing you. There are most of us here, we went to basic school at Young Christian or Chapel Hill or Ridge or Bethel Methodist. From there, secondary, Fijai, GSTS, Archbishop Porter, St. Mary's. After that, we move on to Takoradi Technical University, or now this GTUC, Takoradi Campus, or Takoradi, National Service 2, Takoradi. Some people don't even know Nchaban, you'll be surprised. They don't know Nchaban barrier, they don't know Apremdu barrier. Because everything is here. Then to me, you are not a Ghanaian. Seriously. Let us move. Let us plan our lives that we are going to explore. And the exploration can be very good. National Service, the coverage is just 1 year. 12 months. You work 11 months, you get 1 month leave. That is for the regular one. The teachers, you work from January to November. December is leave. For the nurses, March to January. February is leave. So just 1 year, you leaving Sekondi-Takoradi for anywhere that your qualification is needed, it becomes a problem. The target group, I've already talked about it. That's 18 years, people of sound mind, and you must attain a tertiary education, be it international or local. Because if you do an international program, you go to your Ukraine or Spain or UK or even the US. When you come to Ghana, before you can get employment, you have to do national service. I'm going over our posting criteria for you to, know that we just don't do the postings. First, our mandate is on our own. National Service, we have a lot of projects. As we are speaking in our Western region, we have a poultry farm being managed by National Service personnel. They are Greek people. We are now starting another crop farm at Mosiaso in the Amenfi West municipality. And that one too, we are using our own agricultural people to establish it there. Those who did agribusiness and the certificate in agriculture and other agric people. Plus, if you go to our Ohiamadri poultry farm, for instance, we have those who have done purchasing and supply, being in charge of stock taking. We have an accountant there, and we have a farm manager. And they are all National Service people. Though the farm manager, for instance, started as a personnel, but now he's a staff. And depending on what we have, we also have a digging machine where we are using those who have done diamond drilling and mechanical engineering. It is being managed by service personnel. It's one of our projects. We have a poultry farm in Greater Accra. We have crop farm at Ejisu in the Ashanti region. All these things are being managed by National Service personnel. When you go to our headquarters, we have a restaurant which is being managed by National Service personnel, the hospitality and, catering people. We also have some partnership. And right from here, I think that I have to discuss with Mr. Chiahini. Because Magdan, for instance, we have some partnership with him and other entrepreneurs. You know, when you are registering, you are asked where your interest is. You have to give us 3 interests. So if you're interested in entrepreneuring or business or any other, and you state, we have a way of discussing it with you and knowing where to post you. And Magdan is now mentoring some national service people. And we believe that after that, we have a link with NEIP who will give them initial funding for them to start their own business. This is where we've got it to as a new national service scheme. So it is not only Yankwe Krasi there be. But some of us, when we are filling the national service registration form, we think that, it's just for a joke. Let us know where your interest is. Know that it is a step in your life. Give us the right details. Come to our office for discussions. And depending on your qualification, maybe Mr. Chair will say, this year I'm taking 5 electrical engineers and 5 mechanical engineers, auto, right? And I believe that he will mentor them very well. And after the 1 year, they can be men. They can either establish it or he will employ them. There are some few rules. Talking plenty, we have exemptions. And these are the only people that can be exempted. If you are 40 years and above, that one you are exempted. But when you need employment after 40 and you go and they need your national service, you have to come for an exemption certificate. And you are supposed to do the service once. Now that there is the BTEC in some of the technical universities, some of them have done HND before. HND, they did service and they want to do the BTEC one because there's no employment. We don't blame them. It is against our rules, but we don't blame them because there's no employment. Now he has done a top-up for BTEC, so they try to maneuver their ways, but our system will fish you out. And those who have also done some non-graduate, previously, when we had the A-level and the DBS running, those people were also permitted to do service. So some people have done those services before. If you have done that one, when the system gets you, it means that you can't do it again. We've realized that because of unemployment, immediately somebody does a top-up, he wants to do service again. Immediately, even to the masters, after masters, the person wants to do national service again. But our system now will definitely bring you out. So let's take note. It is an offense. And we also have deferment. That is, by the time we finish, we know that some people might be having some trails. Some trails may be so plenty that they need another year. That one, you are accepted to do your trails or your receipts before you come and do the national service. But you have to write to our board for approval. And sometimes ill health can also let somebody not do service. But you have to come with proof. These are the major offenses. When you want to apply it, protocol things come in. Your pastors will come and visit you in their house. We have others, you post them, they will never go. That is evasion. If you are posted and within 3 months you don't go and you don't come with any reason or you don't apply for deferment, definitely it is against the law and we will deal with you. Then this one, desertion. That is very common, especially those who are posted to the schools and some of the public sectors. They go for the first 3 months, they realize that their monthly allowance is coming, everything is set. Even some people forge the signatures of their supervisors and headmasters. Then after that term, dodge, you won't see them again. Forgetting that you will need a certificate. That one is a serious law. And self-posting. Now with the system we are running, you can't do self-posting. But people go and disturb the HRs and the CEOs. Mr. Annan, they will just go and disturb them. They know that OKT's friend is lawyer Bachman. So they will go and tell so many stories for lawyer Bachman to come. And you realize that where they want to go, their qualification is not needed. But they will understand. It will surprise you that somebody who did theater arts is a TESCO member, so he thinks that he has protocol because it's an election year. Theater arts, he wants to go to Ghana Gas. What are you going to do in Ghana Gas with theater arts? It's a serious thing, Early childhood education. I want GMPC. What are you going to do there? I want Gapoha. But these companies, they bring their request, the qualifications they need. And they will maneuver their way and they will get there. Then the HR will reject the person. Then, hey, who posted you there? Asamaba. That is where they bring the pastors. That is self-posting and it's against the law. So please, let us advise our people. There are a lot of benefits in national service. You get skills training. I know STCCI, we have a serious issue. But they were very good partners because they trained the people well. And you are also exposed to the business community because their members are all in business. We need that collaboration. They take a lot of people. STCCI, they are good. I know that ChoiceSmart will also start. We have a lot of, hospitality and catering people for you. As we try, there is a serious deal that we will have with him. There are a lot of benefits. You get the working experience, you get the links, you get the contracts. You will be paid non-taxable allowance of 559. We hope that maybe next year to be increased. So please, let us do our best and go. Let us get the benefits of national service. People think that, it is always punishment. It is not. And let us explore Ghana. I'm waiting for somebody to come and tell us that, I want to develop my town. So post me to my hometown. And we'll give you a prize. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Okatechema Kwai-Frifa. We can do it better. So whilst he was talking, when he mentioned that if you go to the villages, you get some benefits, I heard the guy there say, mempe. And when he said that they are looking forward to an increment next year, what did he say? Hey. Did you hear him? He said, Amen. Charlie, papa. So we've heard from Mr. Chumberima, we've heard from Mr. Okatechema Kwai-Frifa, we've heard from Mrs. Marian Ampon and Mr. Francis Etuahine. We have 10 minutes for questions and answers. If you have any question, please let me know. Especially on national service, I get a lot of questions from people. And there are a lot of people who do connections. I learned it's 300 cities. And later they will come to me. And just to be very appreciative to Mr. Okatechi Amankwa, probably known as OKT. He gave me 22 slots for national service personnel from the region this year. And the slots were, where do they want? So Ghana Gas, and they are posted. Gapoa, and they are posted. ECG, and they are posted. And a lot of people here, some people are close to me, and this is one of the beneficiaries. Stand up. He had Ghana Revenue Authority. That's what he asked for, and he posted him there. So, what's your qualification? HND marketing. So, yes. So he was posted there, Ghana Revenue Authority. And if there are any questions, we are ready to take them for the speakers. We've had them, 4 of them. So we have 10 minutes to engage them. All right, sir.
My question is directed to the man who just gave us a very wonderful speech, Mr. Okatechi Afrifa. I want to know what is the main object behind the 41 cedis that we pay during the early stages of the registration. And also, there has been forceful deduction of monies, all in the name of getting NSS cloth, which I don't think is quite reasonable. Because as for getting a cloth on national service, it shouldn't be forced. They shouldn't force it on you. You should have the leeway to choose whether you like it or not. But this one, you go and they will deduct it. And even the most funny aspect is that some of us didn't get the cloth at the end of the day. So I just want to know what is the main reason behind that. Thank you.
Oh, we can clap for him. Question is, okay, it's in there. Obey your man. So he's talking about the cloth and some early payments when you enroll on the scheme.
Should I answer?
Yes, please answer.
Oh, okay. Well, there is an association, National Service Personnel Association, that seeks the welfare of all personnel. And they have their constitution, they have their rules, though we just supervise them, but it's an association. The 1 CD that you are talking about, it was being deducted when you were submitting your monthly duty forms, right? No, the early stages, that one is administrative charges, and there is also the NASPA dues. That one, I can't give you the whole 40 CDs state. The 41, the 1 CD is for the charges, and the 40 CD is the registration. What I know is 10 CDs is your NASPA dues, and the 30 is for administrative things. You know, we sent you text messages. We are using data, and we make sure that communication between you and us is okay. So that's the 40 CDs. But I know that in some districts, the NASPA people have their own amount of dues that they take per month. For the cloth, maybe you didn't go for yours, because everybody was supposed to get the cloth because you were deducted from source. So now you've completed service. You should see me, James.
Any more questions? And to acknowledge our sponsors again, JMPC Foundation, Team MOVE, IOM, that's the International Organization for Migration, and the European Union.
All right, so my name is Isaac, and then my question is to Mr. OKT. Yeah, so it's 2 questions. First one has to do with the postings. This actually something I observed. I have actually finished my national service, but I escorted somebody to an institution, and then I realized that there is a lot of people at the front desk of that organization, and countless times they had people coming out to tell them that they are not accepting personnel that particular year. And then one way I was blaming the personnel, probably through connection, they did it through connection, but Another thought also told me that no, you can't have about over 500 people going to the same organization that they've been posted there. Does it mean that, I don't know, sometimes consultation are not made, or it's, I don't know what happened? And then the second one has to do with those who are posted to private institutions. I think that they are also helping employ people, or they are also helping the scheme. So why is it a situation that they also have to pay some percentages to national service?
Thank you very much.
Don't forget the private institutions are using our human resource, and it can't be free. It's just 20% of the 559. That's what they pay. And that one is statutory, and they understand, So, you know that most of the private institutions also even pay more than the 559. For what you are talking about, it is the connection that we have in the system. As I said, there is a new NSS. We go by what the institutions will bring. That you don't know. And as I said, Ghanaians and protocol, that is one. And two, there are others, they just want to be in that institution by hook or crook. Somebody with the early childhood education. The girl was crying. She wants to go to Ghana Gas. As for what she wanted to do, but me, I won't do it. I will never do it, no matter what you will do, because early childhood Ghana Gas, whilst we have engineers who would like to go there, no way. For Western region now, what we do is after posting, we send every private institution with the list of the people who have been officially posted. That is why when people go, then they are rejected, because they have the official ones. Maybe next year we'll start arresting people. You have to explain how come you got posted to that place. It is the connection. I'm not saying that we are angels, no. We are all youth, and people are very ambitious. And so if maybe the person is working on posting, the IT director, work on Western region posting for me. He thinks that now he has the password for posting. So all his connections, he push it through. You see, now if you do that, you can be caught. And you will roam. By the time you come, every place will be full. Then we have to take you to maybe a school. That is, people are suffering like that because of protocol. I know somebody in her state of distress, she herself started talking, and she had paid 1,500. She did fashion, and she wanted to go to Nestle. I don't know what she wanted to go and do there. So she paid her way. We know that there are some numbers that come on your school platforms. So she managed to pay her way. That one was 500. The person told her they asked for Nestle. There is a big time company, so 500. Then she paid. Lo and behold, she got Nestle. And from what she herself is saying, the security didn't even allow her in to go and see the HR. Because fashion and Nestle. Then somebody told, I can help you. Then the person said, I can help you to get Guinness Ghana Limited. Another 500. Then the Guinness one, that's a different story. That one, the experiences she had, only God knows. Then somebody told her, I can get you the mines. As for the mines, you did fashion, so corporate social responsibility. They've started training people for tie and dye and the rest. So you work in their corporate social responsibility unit. Another 500,005. Went to Anglo Gold, Edria Prema. The girl lives in Temao. That is why she wanted the Nestle. She went to Angugu, Takwa, and the same Nestle incident. The security, because the security had the list before him. So the security didn't allow her. Then she came crying. And I said, fashion, Nestle, and all this. So it is the connection. Me, if you do your connection, or if you have your links, be it political or religious or whatever, choose an institution where your services will be needed. Don't just, yeah, I want to be a Kapoha. That's the Takoradi people. And the Takwa people too, I won't go first.
All right, thank you so much, sir. There's a question here. Your name and who the question is to.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kojo, and my question is directed to Marian Anaje Choice Smart. I want to know, I've been listening and it keeps coming up that protocol. Yes, we live in Ghana, but I just want to find out, how do your organization recruit people? If you can just take us through so we get to understand. Is it for a limited fee or it's open to everybody? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. It's open to everybody. If we have a vacancy, you can apply. And just as he was saying, if you're qualified, you'll be employed. Sometimes people recommend people and it gets them there, but it's what they know that gets them employed. So it's open to everybody. If you're good with customer service, marketing, we have different departments. We have a warehouse, we have a restaurant. Right now we are not employing, we don't have any vacancies right now, but when we do, we'll post them, and when you see them, you can apply, and we'll invite you for an interview. And if you qualify, we'll definitely hire you. Thank you.
I think, no, I just wanted you to really give us, is there a website that a prospective job seeker can visit, or maybe a social media handle? Practically, because we have a lot of young people here, prospective employers and employees. So it will be good for us to really understand the process. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We do have social media. We're on Facebook, and then we're on Instagram. We do post over there. And also physically, we do have job openings at our job site at Anaji Choice. But like I'm saying, right now, we don't have anything open. But when we do, it'll be posted there. It'll be posted on Facebook, on Instagram, and then you can see it and apply. Is that okay? Does that answer your question? All right, thank you.
And this is free consultancy. When you are sending your CV, just add that you were a participant of 2020. That one, she will employ you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Eko Davis, a librarian and a farmer. Mine is not really a question, but it's a suggestion to Mr. Etuohene. I must say, I'm really impressed checking where you've come from and where you are now. But I'm also an entrepreneur, and I just want to encourage you and let you know, sometimes when you get such platforms, let the youth or future entrepreneurs know the challenges, because sometimes we make it look it's that easy. Yeah. So sometimes when you get the opportunity, let us know some of the challenges, because I know it's not easy. And if we are aware of where we are getting to, then we'll be so girded and we will come out clean. So thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you so much. I'm sure we can take 2 more questions and we end this session. All right, so a female should... Am I being fair? No female has asked the question. Should I? Oh, Vem. If you agree, say move.
Thank you very much. It's also a suggestion to what Mr. Stiahine said. I think in Takoradi, most people are not seen as being, the youth are not seen as being hardworking. Because a lot of people say, when you come to Takoradi, the townsfolk don't like working. Because when you see those coming from Accra, Tema, Kumasi, they are those that are hardworking. And as Mr. Hene said, let's make Takoradi a new Takoradi. Sure. Let's make Western region a new Western region. Whatever that we seek in doing, with consistency, we can get there. Let's work hard and put in all our effort. And I believe Takoradi is going to be seen as a new town going forward. Thank you very much.
So you're seeking to have a new Takoradi. But new Takoradi is a whole. And one from this side, please. Then we move to the next set. Did you? Hey, you are confident today. I'm bringing it.
Good afternoon. I'm Paul. My question is to Mr. Etiahene. Mr. Etiahene, I want to ask you, what was your first challenge that made you nearly stop and run away from your vision that you are enjoying now?
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. You know, whatever that you start, sometimes we say it's not going to be easy. Within the initial stage of my business, especially in this automobile industry, sometimes people will come your way. They will come in such a way that they are even ready to help you. You go the extra mile by even getting them some amounts to get you some cars outside. And along the line, you will call them, their phone is not going through. You go to where they were living, and you can't even find them. And looking at your profession, especially when you have a customer's money at hand, you can imagine how it's going to be. But sometimes you just have to pray. You know, there are two things in business. We have the God factor and the human factor. When things get so tough, you pray as if everything depends on God. And on the human factor, you work as if everything depends on you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. You have a question?
I'm Samuel Ofori. This goes to Mr. Tuahine. As a successful entrepreneur who still wants to aspire to greater height, I just want to seek your counsel. Do you believe in working with a loan from the bank? And the other one has to do, what actually motivated you when friends were saying you can do it?
Okay, thank you very much, my brother. When we have to talk of loan for business, it's of two sides. When you are starting business and you just want to go in for loan, sometimes if care is not taken, you end up, I don't know how to put it, but you end up in a serious issue. You have what you call leverage. Imagine you want to start a restaurant business. You don't have money to start a restaurant business. There are other big-time restaurants around that you can approach them. Sometimes it's about rendering service to them. Sometimes you can even go the extra mile by even searching for employment there. If you don't find employment, you can help even market some of their products for them. Along the line, people will get to know that you are into food deliveries. Gradually, you build that brand for yourself. You know, as human or as entrepreneurs, you must be known for something. Gradually, as you start that, a time may come whereby you also be able to start from somewhere. Being it boutique that you want to set up, you can market other people's stuff, even on your social media. Now everybody has a smartphone, and it's a shop on its own. It's not about having a big showroom that indicates that you are having a boutique or something. And one thing that I must say is life has no limit. It's about the limitations that you create for yourself. Whatever that you desire, you can always achieve it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. She has a question, and I guess it will be interesting.
Please, my name is Elizabeth. My own is about the allowance. Some of us, the National Service Allowance, some of us, our allowance is not in. So I want to know if there is any steps for us to be taking to be able to receive our allowance. Thank you.
It will by all means come this week. It will come before Christmas.
But did you realize that when it got to the allowance, the answer was very brief? It will come very soon. It will come before Christmas. This person has a question.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Kwame Connect, and my question is directed to Mr. Chum. During your presentation, you spoke about the music transition, how music has transcended into Kofi Kinaata now. But I want to know the measures that probably you are putting in place to secure more high life musicians, because we always say that high life has always been the root of Ghanaian music. So how then do we sustain this legendary music genre in Ghana? Thank you.
Thank you. I am a management consultant. I am not a typical music person. So from my angle, there's nothing that I am doing now. What I did now is to open the minds or the eyes of people to certain things that maybe we don't know about or we have glossed over. So when it comes to promoting high life musicians, I will speak to Kofi. So after this program, maybe he's going to mentor some people here. So Kofi's team is the best team to answer this question. So I'll speak to Kofi after this meeting. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And we'll say thank you to our speakers. Please, round of applause for them. Please take your seat, and your water should come along with you. We are still live online on the pages Kofi Kinaata. So you could surf on Facebook, search for Kofi Kinaata, and share it across. And we are online again with the hashtag MIT Youth Seminar 20. Let's trend this across. There are lots of messages on Facebook Live. And one from Adepa Prissy says, Kofi, I love what you are doing. Keep it up. Team, move all the way. Somebody has shared his song link. He says we should go and download the song. Prince Dankwa says, great work. Team, move. Real G says, move dear. Yeah, remove. But yeah, hodoro. Charlie, I'm struggling, but I'm sure by the end of this, Mr. Chum will tell me what it is. Ebenezer Fifi Ejiri writes, OKT, and adds laugh to it. Real G again says, you youngest youth have to punch them hard with the questions and stop fine boy, fine girl, no, more, no. Hey, Real G. Anyway, so next we move to a presentation. But to help us do this is a representative from International Organization for Migration. Mr. Wilmot is the Director of Reintegration. Mr. Wilmot, Mr. Kojo Wilmot, with a round of applause. Oh, they sponsored us. Wamboma is can wabejo, waja. Bro, you need to make a fantino. Wambom can say. That's it. Thank you so much.
Kofi Kinaata. Kadama mobin tukan the mum narukaya for panapado bawaka for baby I watch on pade jono one ness in the man your benizika what's our best out of muga wolo what we go do one when they planted jono.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. And mine, I won't do a presentation. I will show 2 films, very short films, just for us to resensitize ourselves with this message that I'm going to give. You've all heard it before, the dangers that are associated with irregular migration. Let me commend the previous speakers. I think they've made my work very easy. Many a times you sensitize people, you speak to people, and they try to explore what are the opportunities for me. And that's why I asked the question to Marian as to how the teeming youth, the young people gathered here, can have opportunity, just like everybody, for a good and reliable job. Let me point here that we from the IOM, the International Organization for Migration, the UN Migration Agency, we as an organization, we are not against migration. what we sensitize people on is the dangers that are associated with irregular migration and the need that if you would want to migrate, you need to do it in a safe, humane, and dignified manner. So we are not here to tell you, do not migrate. What we are here to tell you is that if you would migrate, migrate safe. And luckily, Kofi bought into our interventions and so willingly opted to be our goodwill ambassador. And this has been made possible, of course, through funding from the European Union under the IOM EU Joint Initiative for Migrants Protection and Reintegration. Quickly, it's about us giving opportunity for migrants, especially in our instance, Ghanaian migrants, who are stranded in transit or in various destination countries. But for Ghana, our focus is those using the central Mediterranean. I'm sure you might all have heard that our teeming youth, of course, Sekondi-Takoradi is not left out, try to use the desert, the Sahara Desert, via Niger to Libya. You all know the story we continue to hear from Libya. Sometimes it's so unfortunate. You see a young boy, a young lady, saying that for the quest of him or her going to seek for greener pastures, would attempt to use the Sahara Desert. Would attempt, once they get to Libya, try to cross the Mediterranean in an attempt to get to Europe. A lot of lives are lost. In our midst, this is my second time. The first time at the Takoradi Technical University, I was there. There's this young gentleman who shared his experience. A footballer in Ghana was playing for a professional team in Ghana. Decided that the earnings were not so much, and because of the stories he continues to hear, that he would move across the Sahara to Libya and attempt crossing the Mediterranean to Italy so he can ply his trade. Unfortunately, this gentleman ended up stepping on a landmine and lost the right leg. This is what we want people to see. This is the story we want people to hear. I'm not here to paint the picture so gloomy that migration is bad, like I've indicated. What I'm here to do is for you to see. Luckily, there are two short films. I'm not going to bore you with a very lengthy presentation. Two short films. You would see one which is, of course, fictional, so it was staged. And luckily, because of the interventions we provide, we have opportunity for our teeming youth who have ended up being stranded to voluntarily return back to Ghana. And when they come, we give them some reintegration support. Of course, because migrants from Ghana, like other sub-Saharan African countries, are economic migrants, they are going to seek for greener pastures. We try to mitigate the push factor, things that are driving them. And like we've heard from our speakers, link them to available job opportunities. If it's they setting up a small micro business, we end up helping to set them up so that when they would migrate now, they would do it in the right manner. Let me also use this point to also highlight that, yes, 18th of December, last Friday, was International Migrants Day. It's a day that has been set up aside by the UN General Assembly to remember the contributions of migrants. I'm sure with all of you sitting here, who knows a migrant? Who knows someone who has traveled before? If you know, raise your hand. If you know someone who has traveled, Kumasi to Accra, Accra to Tema, Takoradi to Koforidua, do you know anyone like that, especially the young ones? Do you know anyone who has migrated, traveled before? Hello? Yes, it's a story that we all continue to hear. Of course, I'm sure we all know people who have also moved across the borders of this country. Tried crossing to Togo, Benin. Some go to Europe, some go to the Americas. So migration affects everybody. it doesn't affect only a limited few. There are people who will take a decision that they would want to move irregularly on their own and end up being apprehended, they being arrested. Now, what do? They will call their families back at home to send funds for their release. Now, what are you doing? You are going to better their livelihoods, the lives of those you are leaving behind. But you rather burden them with such journeys, perilous journeys. And this is what we want people to understand. So like I indicated, it's part of International Migrants Day. We did some series of events, pre-event, engagement with the youth through radio. And then we did a graffiti artwork in Accra. Kofi was there, Kofi Kinaata was there, which we do very much appreciate. And then we also had some radio programs on that day. And then today we are partnering with Timove to also do this youth seminar. And I'm very, very happy surviving the vicissitudes of COVID-19, the opportunities the pandemic presents. And for me, I would really concentrate on the latter bit, the dangers of irregular migration. We know the previous speakers have highlighted the effects of the pandemic, job losses. In fact, the job losses is not only those here. No country has been spared of COVID. Every country has paid huge price. Ghana, on my last check, about 333 Ghanaians had lost their lives. These may be entrepreneurs, people who were working and stuff. So the pandemic hasn't spared anyone. What we believe in and what we have come to understand is that it's resulted in a lot of difficulties. Right now, as we speak, the land borders remain closed. With a gradual easing of restrictions, we know that the teeming youth will be forced to move. And so we want to move ahead of them to let them know that it is not as safe as they are made to believe through social media and through the stories. So we are just going a step ahead so that they wouldn't be forced to move because of their current circumstances. And like almost all of you have the T-shirt. If you don't have a T-shirt, just indicate by hand. I will let the ushers get you one. You can see the theme for the International Migrants Day is reimagining human mobility. We need to reimagine the human mobility. We need to recontextualize to make sure that we do not take decisions that will end up negatively affecting us, but also ensure that we take decisions that would rather help us grow, where it will also help us put us in the right limelight. So with these few words, let the first video roll, please. And this has been made possible by Ian.
Passeafoɔ. Ade. Ade.
Me demre.
Me. Ebi a wo chichiri ne din.
Samira. Obisi me tell ka ho.
I was a forecasting back on Erico.
Say we are planning to go Germany.
Me bra e ma me twi dabi. Nti, wan sha me tinya twi ama ya kwase.
Unu ka twi kiss no ka ni ko fa ye dwi enko. Umre na aso no.
Dabi. Un say bia.
O safire na wa dwi yi. Ah.
Yedi.
Okay, everybody, down. Grab your things and come down. Hurry up. Grab your things and get down.
Hurry up. Let's go.
Get down, everybody. Get down.
No time.
Aha, ene na koso aha.
Mo kwaso. Come show me kana say na me nsa kwani. Wa bre e fili bia ba no.
Okay. All of you, line up behind this truck. Let's go. Hurry up.
Okay, payment.
Quick.
Hurry up.
Nabil, ene na mu ye no.
I know you money here, no.
Payment. She minimum dia wo ye. Pacho edo asododo. Eni dia fa me ho. Me se ma me sika.
Eni me busiafo enenam.
Me se dabi. Ma me sika. David Asubeti.
Amonka. Eni ejo omunkwan.
Hwe no wan kan chiro bia. Samira, e ka David say, papa ma name is Kanu Abraham wo Libya no. O se enfanfa ka ochina nko.
Ochina.
Aden. Samira. Okay, everybody, follow this woman to the connection house. Fast, quick.
And if you want to cross the desert again, when you get there, you can pay.
Into uko.
Me shocked.
Ya dipa. Ana.
Ai.
Hey. Naba, o driver papa. Ebe na mu kwa me bom pa chinya me se. Ombo one obra na ompesiri na obai.
Me buy ni papa. Now say.
Oh. Man dreaming home. Me anko na be se ni scan na me. Obe se ni scan.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, no pictures.
Be cool. David is all the most Sika Muko Shiba.
Yanka say Chia Sika.
Okay. David Anga say any Yamsamu. In any Yamsamu.
I don't see now with their own code.
I'm person me call that dada. So hey fee.
Open Mr. 50,000 in the crime.
Any you? I say police for night tight power. Yeah, baby.
Eja Mr. You didn't kind of be your price. And can't say your price.
That's a kind of saying, and you made me car. Huh?
Bet me up as I once would and say what price.
Need now.
Ain't Mr. Roger?
Ude, Rebecca wants to be tree. Jan Chamberlain. Emma, how? I'm very okay. It's over for my house, can
Aye.
okay, ne?
I said, I'm born here, see your brand can.
Me probably man, I could store so I could tell a dear.
Beko.
It's my into Uncle Buano. And your man, and we do.
Minko met me.
Beje. It's all do bad in the BC, eh?
The idea be brave.
Ede. Uko you are home.
David. I was say born by. Oh, Semira then.
Eye bibia.
Mbe bo wana.
Dabi met me.
Mami bo we, tun mo dru.
Jai met me.
Mpese me bo.
Me say jai. Jemu.
Pensu me kokko fa fufura ba.
Dabi, jamais.
Me kwa mi nche o.
Me say jamais. Na fenso.
Tama so be se enko didi.
Enya da meko.
Aden.
Me se nya da meko china.
Den. Se busua no. Untumi ndwen se busua no ho.
Enya da busua bi afa me ho. Wo de obeti bi akọ. Enya da meko.
Ja kwara nyama na wo ye no. Na be se yenko.
Enya da meko. Meka kire David ni papa se wo wi o.
David anya dia betumi aka.
Se mi mo.
Semira.
Enti me dimu be hye onyame nsam na odemu akodu jojo mo maye mo mpaye asida fata no ye de wade abrɛw eja ye da wase nsa akwantu mre no aso na be ka kyerɛw sɛ akwantu no ebe da enti mo be koyi me de mo hye nyame nsa no no ankura mu on mon kodu jojo alaka kulafia
Amen.
Okay, let's go.
Police for labor. India Mukau. Intending the young councillor now. David, move to your uncle as well. Many Libyans never can. Why?
Semira.
They won't.
Mummy and Co. AC phone.
Me dream say Gabriel na.
Hey, come here. Hey, say come here. What are you doing? Put your hand behind you. What did I do? Put your hand behind me. I'm not doing anything. Get off me. Sit down. And don't move. Hey, say don't move. I'm sitting.
I think I have a driver here. In the alleyway next to the radio station. Next to the radio station.
Semira, shit.
Waiting. Hey! Sit! Stop! Stop! Stop running! Semira!
Thanks. This was put together by Ian Barley, like I indicated, and it's premised on a true story. Ian was in Ghana and came into contact with a potential, someone who attempted undertaking such a perilous journey across the Sahara, but could not make it. And you see the kind of experiences that they go through. You paying money for you to be treated like a slave. Sometimes it's really bothersome that somebody, and unfortunately a lot of people who undertake this kind of journey, they fall within the youth category, ages between 18 and 35 years. And for you having been taken care of by your family, an attempt that you are going across the Sahara to Libya, that because of test, 25 pesos pure water, you lose your life, a life of 25 years, a life of 30. There's this story of an indigent from Takoradi. They moved here as a group, and they trekked across. Of course, they went through Niamey to Agadez, like you saw. And then on their trek to get to Libya, they got short of water. It was just by the spell. He nearly died. He was only saved by a friend who offered him just, you know, the cover that we use in closing the bottle. That water was what made him survive. And they were lucky to find an oasis. I'm sure you all know oasis, a patch of water on the desert. In their quest of they running to drink the water, after they consumed, they realized that there was a dead animal in the water, in the oasis. If it doesn't even affect you at that time, don't you think it will affect you in future? That because you don't want the water to be palatable, you put diesel in the water so that you don't consume plenty, so it can last you the entire journey. Is this the kind of migratory experience we would want to undertake? Hence, this is why we are sensitizing you, that you would see on numerous occasions, on billboards, on walls, jobs abroad. Do you want to travel to Canada? Do you want to go to Europe? What we are saying is verify. The Ghana Immigration Service is there. Verify the authenticity of such job advertisements. Let me tell you, if you think and you consider your migratory activity you want to undertake, and you realize that it's not going to be beneficial to you, the potential migrant, that they will say it's 50-50. Anytime any person tells you that it's 50-50, it means that the risk is way higher than the benefits, many a times. The same, if you consider, and it's not going to be beneficial to your family, those you are leaving behind, because if you go and you die, you bring pressure on your family here. If you go and you are apprehended, you end up with bandits and they apprehend you. It's the same family who would need now to sell family property for your release. And then if you also see that your migratory activity is not going to be beneficial to the host country. Every country is governed by rules and regulations. If you are using clandestine means to enter someone's country, it means that you are not doing it in the right way. So you don't do it. You look for the alternatives. It's good, yes. People go ply their trade in Europe as footballers. It's a very good thing. People migrate in a safe way to go and study. It's a very good thing. Some get proper jobs from here, they are recruited from here, and they go and work genuinely. Those are what we are trying to encourage. But going through such dangerous journeys, in the second film, you would see the real experience of one who undertook the journey. This is not staged. This one is Philly Gadochi. You're a Philly Ubia Wafum, and the kind of things, inhumane treatment I was subjecting to. Obakaninyara. Maya Kanyanka de Akuntunye, like I've indicated. But if you would want to use such dangerous means, this is what we are trying to let you know. And this movie was selected as part of our Global Migration Film Festival, which, of course, is being aired because of our International Migrants Day activities. And we round up the activities with this seminar. So, with your permission, if you can air, this one is...
Bumia fumamu sa bomia mason nen we antiasem aso we antiasem tie so no boss ano na dan ye no we kita we mu ti say enyina ye wura so no ti that time den nipa be 70 to 80 there mu nyina wura so no bi dan so no bo se na nipa so di ni pe ko hey afa be adu dia ni adin mi fan sana mi bitu kwano na mi wo tachima ya adwuma no mu a me adwuma na Libya country ya we are chale I'm say why do Libya antino Libya no so no the way sit no visi bia ya bochi CBA babi kama bia ukako tina relax ya match se bia obi Europe na se bia America na issue babi na mi adwuma na ma ya adwuma ka kreska akra mo na adwuma no suska akra na me de kabom na mbeji moto ni sifi na kofaka
jiska oyi kita e politin bag so ko ya ko jama it's okay ti okoye no around 2:30 about ben
bumia fumamu sa bomia mason nen we antiasem aso we antiasem tie so no boss ano na dan ye no we kita we mu ti say enyina ye wura so no ti that time den nipa be 70 to 80 there mu nyina wura so no bi dan so no bo se na nipa so di ni pe ko hey afa be adu dia ni adin mi fan sana mi bitu kwano na mi wo tachima ya adwuma no mu a me adwuma na Libya country ya we are chale I'm say why do Libya antino Libya no so no the way sit no visi bia ya bochi CBA babi kama bia ukako tina relax ya match se bia obi Europe na se bia America na issue babi na mi adwuma na ma ya adwuma ka kreska akra mo na adwuma no suska akra na me de kabom na mbeji moto ni sifi na kofaka
jiska oyi kita e politin bag so ko ya ko jama it's okay ti okoye no around 2:30 about ben 4 na ninkofo no mu yadwuma na frame say kasi esenka wotimi du omo nchen be says but omo nchen nka na nkofo no buy no be fa moto na me omi na ko omo office no mko bie mko bu ayinani mbu ani no na ne me wo mu 3100 ti me kai se mtwa na me ba no kura no me hu ba me dat matua
teka trila ɔde nnua ɛkɔ Ije Nyame street ɔde nnua fi Ghana ɛkɔ Nyame street nti na nipa 5 ɛna ɛwɔ ka no but driver no kyɛ sɛ yɛ nipa 4 na yɛka no nyinaa no yɛ mate but yɛ mu miɛnsa deɛ na yɛkɔ Libya ɛna yɛforo car no nti no foro car no yɛfa Tamale to free Tachima ha saa kakra saa before ne kɔdu Niger no 4 days me kɔdu anajo 10 o'clock and de kye time na me du Agades I be push me akɔ Libya no from that day saa wa ma 160 na ma me nu me ho ena ma me nu me ho kra say that be my bad decision
the one anaja little na kesi ne catch them say o call Libya wa call o match do kwanso ndigi besides and this camera Libya for what the ban say anya du ho awie we nda enyi ansa me san yi sika send ma obi okufo de omde number bi ma me send sika no ma no almost 1,000 something
yes can we na me frɛ connection man say hono me tua 14 million 1,400 no mo jimi wo sa gitu hono na no so tia nyi ya e be jiska no ukodu Libya e refer say won tua ska nti bo tua double oji ska no eno mko pick up we bi Toyota Hilux tini to bi a wi o me car ni bi si wo eno mo twia mi ti se nsasi shishe msa ti utnafia na utha do de kanoso no na dua kita o se na kita nse na dua na hye ho na we susha ha na we susha ha ntino de kanano no metuma hye ni fa be 15 ye brana no ko ni ko no fi wanchi so no bia me ko bia o kame ho to no kita atade no achi ni se so wacha se amika na so de me ka kra bia si ya okoti ato to no so kita dua no to no de kita mo ni de a wo sitie na msuni kwa bia me ko bi sada na ni ni sitie so no no kita me ti ato a wo so me ko ya bobe 4 machi ko ginae musi John Soye na mi so John Soye de me na mi sie na uroli afa so me na nyina de agene na say ti me mi sie ra me uroli fa so na me dawo se ya be 5 minutes to 10 minutes ansana na no iti mu de nanti ko John so bi na ye dru ba bi no e fe ba bi Sablata oko Griani side one na ntokwa si pa ma o makunku nipa e ma ye ya omde ye kono ye na ye kosesa nipa na ye den e kugu ba bi enye easy na me obi a me funu kra me nyanso bi mu da o mo ye ya na omde me kodru Tripoli inside ankasa tanwumre ansana o mo ye den taxi eba Tripoli ho ebe fami edi me Cosrington kakra sa before ansana we could do me destination so we say there I will do nipa me nimu ho asana me could do on side ntimi no nipa na me kosre no plastering no dey obo aduma dey ho bebre but ne obeya obenya scan na plastering and ties o nam ho na obi afra o me waduma na wakoche waduma na wakoye aduma no so wawie no pa na otwa oka wacha se o pa na otwa oka bi se wa mfa kwan pa so nya den ewura kronum bikwa de ewie na adwuma no akofa atuo so yensa ni manko yesa obukuye hwana wakache no kukachi police na police no kura wakache no kura no ya asem onso bechewo na one time bi ko suku babi akoto nnuane beans no tomato na zefo no na market mi koto ni mano ena maame panyimu chese me maame onso free ni sei timi du ha ti sa onu free ni sei na timi free ni sei na ehia o e dan chance because I know tetiam keka o tetiam me panyimu na timi di na me say adan shine because I know brand say ba ko free ha we free be ka gumi so bro and ya man fan easy bumia fumamu sa bomia maso nen we entiasem aso we entiasem mi aduma to 1 year before ansana mi hu aduma tino mi twa 2 years ayi ra 2.5 no na me master ne na so we dem baka tio se ndem pese me twa so adwena science service Ghana kwa medukra madi dabi metuma bedua me try se me dey me twa so akọ Italy frɛ connection man se ale pese me twa so na me discan here dey come na be prepare me tom jacket bia na me ko na Arab man be fam ko we to different countries no me now how me tuma here dey akọ Italy mahomache 2 o'clock na yesu ye pija machine ko sin so no so nipa 143 boats bienu ye tina boat no mu a Nigeria ne girl bi ayibi san ha nse san ko fana ho mu black ayibi black san na gen pija ne sase na am say no so mo na hold my hand na me sorry nsa na me fise bi o se me ma onye de on sorry so da bi me gitare mu na onyem am say onyem na de betina boat mu no say o say e ko Italy odi mbe ni kunu eteso ya wana machine fon adum na mpaibo make say na machine say machine dum 4 times ba hono na me say abi I mistake ene nso no e balu the more I can ayi nchini su no na ejo tina fisa ha na adwo nchini nipa na begu ha ena ha na da ho ti su no boss ha no ena e dan ye no we kita we mu ti say enyina ye run so num ti wan dey am ti che no ti say we run so na kita obi mu ta fi na machine ye den ewuram ejina so na machine ewuram ti so na ba de dam sisi obi ha so on dey obi abre on dey wonti mu e dey asebo e dey an obi wunti no bo na waja no hatun so no twon no ewu nso bi no ko afre mal makoma ko 17 ka 4 ma 4 ba ho kita me ha na ba ko ti so mo twa me no mo twa me ho ahia na we kita me na me say na me je ahoden be na me ho ti that time dey nipa be 70 to 80 there mu nyina awura so no bi dan so no bo se na nipa so di nipa ko after be adu dia ni aden su come do ngani ni ba bia nso no so ye nkyene so no bia bu me ka se na nsu asen ajam nsu to ti so no tatam so mi chefu ti so no to se na me ye bon amani so no fubiti ni makra sa so ati ti so sa na dia chi ti so we tatam na nsu na du be sisi ai nsu we abre dia ti anade me no me dim teatro we no so na na mai that's watch 12 to 1 where it's rescue man to team ndi so na hwano ni chukra mi dimo chonko so tino ya hwana isi chichire mi sasi na mi chichire mi na isi na me say ona si ya no mo a twin kakra sa mo so mi sa mo yime eto mbotu no omuye nipa 143 no omuye na aka 41 is 102 there omuye na kanipa 41 pe omuye good ombotu ma de call down me to ho na me yeden me die e man no me force ana omunyi na yeden ana ba ko na me no me tana botu ma me so ne nsa no ono so yeden e ka ho ti me hwe na me ka chen se abe so mu jai say wom obi na Nigeria kwan da biya no pe na yeden ko back why and try say puwe and so we say yeden atena so bi na me so mu jai me say wom me mpehwe plane ticket nkwa na me pe minya ya back to Ghana and ko du Ghana na me ni wan city kra e better say obi a me dwane amane na me say beto amane kuro we no nye kurupa enom de fa bas so mdieko ako deporte jini mse sadi na no mko deporte ndi o kanipa ho atono o fa e kom de ko Greyhound prison no aboɔ atwa ho nyinaa ahyia na prison no inside container o mind say dan kɛseɛ ha mu kɛseɛ bɛ sɛ dan container na awoi na nso mu asɛm deɛ kɔɛ ɛnɛ ɔkyena saa na ɛte hɔ na da bia sɛ nipa ewu a ne prison hɔ everybody dey nipa wu dako yɛ hɔ ara nso awɛmfoɔ ɛɛden ɛba bɛtwetwe edin ɔmɛtwe edin Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday na nkɔfoɔ yɛ asan aba ɔmba yɛ ara ɔmbɛfa nyinaa ɔmde kɔ airport bɛwi tɔkyima nkyɛngo sama abɛdu fie ɛdu yɛ ara na ɔbu abo ɛdu a wɔnkye bɛyɛ fɔ ɔbu abo ana brɛ bi akyi nneɛma fie abran mpakyɛw na wokɔɛ nam sɛ mekɔɛ meba mfie a so mekɔɛ fie ha na ɔsɛ saa sɛ wara me nua baako pɛ na brako fie
meyam hyim na meka asɛ bi a bodani bi kora na abinti nka mekɔ na mekɔ pie pono no na me haage no na yɛwura yi inside
wɔm sɛ Ghana ɛden but bibi kakra wobɛnya a wode bɛstarte sɛ wobɛtu kwan no sɛ nka wode yɛ bibi kakra wɔ Ghana ha yi a na da bia wonya wadwuma aduane na wobɛnya wobɛdi ne ɔbabi a wobɛdane ne ɔbɛnom a bɛta sen sɛ wobɛtu kwan akɔ baabi akɔkɔ brɛ sɛ me de a mekɔ yi so wata sɛ sɛ nka nyɛ sɛ bia mekɔ Libya na nka metena Ghana ha yɛ saa adwuma na nka bana bia nka me manager akora yɛden ɛwɔ adwuma no so wata sɛ nka adwuma no nka bana mekɔ manim sɛ mekɔ baeɛ ɔmo a mo yi load koraa gu friends and company hɔ no ebi tititi moto so how much more say me ankasa na me use moto a me ton ne ma san nyamfa so san twa meka minti mu ntoka wa ho be saa adwen no nkradwen ntino ma hu san nyansa na ankasa gari ma me nya duma na saa ebi a astam go so na be ren be ko na nim
ya mahana anka
so me gina o yesi aka 2 years na me 30 years as ya me bae no o do so mu se me bra kwanyin die bet enam se o mo na tima ko mo nim kakra sa no mo mu me so ja se mo so na okra after ko den na otimi e so ja se we tim ka ka sa se mo chem see the achievement am person me achievement say abrabo de obi a person bo abrabo nkon ni ni nya djuma ensi fie na wa make family so what I say kini si ana ya djuma ena me pe si nya djuma mtim sa djuma we me ye make ma abo am life na ye na kwantu no so ye o mani so but enye sa kwantu we na me sen ya den kam me pese me tu kwanta bag na ma ye me passport so me pese me nye road trip so what I say
advice and level bia very previous so she adwuma kra because the control there you advice say ni parkra ma wonya na bi so betu kra so betu kra so e bia na scholarship bi uko school bi education na ya dia me mani ji hu tinka me advice father bia na say parent bia say education no kra nya yo mani pa do sua adwuma.
And in the t-shirts that you all have, it's boldly inscripted on #Let's Talk Migration. Let us all contribute to the discussion and let no one leave him or herself out because migration affects everybody. I would want to say that migration is not cheap. You've seen in there, it's not the poorest of the poor that are able to move. And so if you consider and you'll see that your migratory activity that you are going to embark on is not going to be beneficial to you, look at the alternatives. We have had able-bodied presenters give us some of the opportunities that abound in this country. Ghana is not a failed state. On this note, I would like to tell you that I have a dream that migrants, potential migrants from Ghana, would migrate based on an informed decision. A dream that the indigenes of Sekondi-Takoradi would migrate as a matter of choice, not as a way of survival. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kojobo. Oh, we can do it better for him. Some are catch on the one warrior, then on Tisawambuma, Ombo. Yembum, better for him, please. All right, so the convener of this whole seminar is here. Do we know who the convener is? Do we know who the convener is? Are you sure? Who is that?
Kinaata.
Sure. All right, so he's here, and briefly, maybe we would love to see him, and we go on with the discussions. Kofi.
No smart more fun.
All right, so we can clap for him for putting this together with his team. And he's a speaker as well. He will address us on issues on creative art. We are going to the next set of speakers. And can we please have on stage Mr. Vincent Annan? Round of applause. Mr. Kwame Kakari from JMPC Foundation, one of our sponsors. Mr. Kwame Edumante, CEO of Focus One Media. And Ya Amwakwedu, CEO of APAV and Integrity International. Oh, please give it up for them. All right, so like we did in the first presentations, they're also going to take turns of 10 minutes each. We would want to start with Mr. Kwame Kakari from JMPC Foundation, and he's the head of economic development at JMPC Foundation. With a round of applause, Mr. Kwame Kakari.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kwame Kakari. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon to talk about GMPC. I know that the questions will center on scholarships very soon, and we are ready for that. As we all know, oil was discovered in Ghana in 2007, and it's off the shores of Cape 3 Points. It's about 120 nautical miles from Cape 3 Points. And for the past 10 years, we've been having oil in commercial quantities. Cumulatively, Ghana's revenue from oil is about $5 billion. From 2011 up to now, is about $5 billion, United States dollars. And if you PIAC's reports over the years, I've been talking about this revenue and what we've been doing with the revenue. There is a part of the revenue which is called the ABFA, which is given to government to shore up its budget situation. And GMPC, for all these years, since 1985, since GMPC has been in existence, had a section which was just for giving foreign scholarship to people who wanted to go. Yes, Remo. Anyway, I'm an Ashanti boy. It is a me bro for no mo fanche me. Me L and me R don't come there. Through this man, I've been able to master it. But they are carried and now they are chubby. Okay, so there's a part of the revenue that is given to government to shore up its budget. And there's a percentage of the revenue that comes to GMPC. In case you are not aware, for the past 4 years, we've been trying to drill oil onshore. What we're doing here in the western region is offshore, but our engineers tell us that Ghana abounds in a lot of oil. So for the past 4 or 5 years, we've been trying to drill or search for oil. It's called seismic studies. Search for oil onshore. There's a lot of oil, but as to whether it is in commercial quantities is another issue altogether. So for the past years, our engineers have been there trying to get the oil for us. And it's not only in, that's what we call the Voltairean Basin. And it's part of northern region, part of Savannah, part of Volta, part of Eastern, and part of Ashanti region. That is where we're trying to get the oil. So it means that very soon it's not going to be oil only from Western region, but oil from all those regions as well. So there's a part of the revenue that comes to GMPC. And that revenue is supposed to be used for oil exploration and all that. And the management of GMPC in 2017 decided that it is time that Ghanaians benefit from this revenue or from this money that accrues to GMPC. There's been a lot of fights as to whether this is legal or not, but I know we've crossed that fight. So for now, this is the basis why the GMPC Foundation was established. Now the GMPC Foundation, when it was being established, then the decision was that, okay, the foundation should be sited in the western region because that is where currently, or this is where currently we are getting the oil from. So that's how come the GMPC Foundation is headquartered right here in the western region. Now, when the GMPC Foundation came, I think I had some slides or somewhere. When the GMPC Foundation came, it was premised on 3 pillars. One of those pillars is education and training. The other pillar is environment and social amenities. And then the third pillar is economic empowerment, where I head that department. So, I'll talk briefly about all the units. With environment and social amenities, we realized that the country needs a lot of things, from sanitary facilities to boreholes. And if you are here, the last time we did a premiere of our documentary, we invited the whole of Western region. We did it right here. And we showed pictures, videos of how some of us, because we've lived in Kumasi, in Takoradi, in Accra, we don't understand the value of a borehole. So when we talk of a borehole, it's, a borehole there. But Masa, if you see the kind of water people are drinking, you will not say borehole there. People have been to rural areas. National service, I did my national service after 6-4. We've done 2 national service anyway. After 6-4, we did it, and after Uni 2, we did it. So way back, 1994, I remember some village somewhere in Ashanti region. I stayed there for 9 months. When I came back, people didn't see me, but my hair was like something. But you go to the rural areas, we were drinking with them from the stream. There was no pipe-borne water. I don't know about the situation now, but at that time, there was nothing like pipe-borne water. You get it? So it's our mandate to supply or to provide some of these amenities. So we've been doing 3 classroom blocks, 6 classroom blocks, some dormitories. I'm not here to talk about it. That's for another day. We've done a lot within the past 3 years that we've been in Ghana. In Western region, that's where we always start our stuff from. A lot of the contractors came through STCCI initially, and they have done a lot of constructions across the country, not only in Western region. So that's that for environment and social. These days we've been providing astroturfs. We've done a lot. If you go to Kwesi Efia, there's an astroturf there. We've done a lot of astroturfs across the country, a lot of them, over 100 astroturf within the past 3 years. And like you're saying, Ghana is big. So even this place, Karela, the football park, yes, we did it for them. A lot of the pitches, Western region, Dompim. Before Takwa, there's Dompim. Those are the things that readily come to mind. We did the astroturf for them over there. A lot of astroturfs that we've done within the past 3 years. Aside that, there's education and training. Education and training, their main mandate is scholarships, offering scholarships, both foreign and local. And like I'm saying, I know some, especially those who just finished national service, they'll be asking as to whether they are also eligible or not. You are eligible. Initially, our mandate is STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. That is where the priority is because we need to groom people for the petroleum sector. Somebody mentioned it somewhere. Initially, when the petroleum exploration started, it was difficult getting technical personnel from Ghana and even from Western region. When you come down to even electrical welders and all that, it was difficult getting such people. So the board decided that, as a matter of fact, we are interested in people in that sector, so that people will be trained in petroleum engineering and geophysics and all those things. To be very honest, that is our priority. So if you did any course in that area, apply. Others like business and us, so though we need auditors, though we need accountants and all that, that is not our priority. So sometimes somebody will meet you and tell you, yes, I applied and I didn't get any response. These days you get a response. That's the response that you get. But the priority, like I'm saying, is always science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And especially for teachers who want to teach those courses, we are interested in them. Because we want Ghanaians or Ghana to produce a lot of these people. Because not only for the petroleum sector, but for others like-minded sectors. So we do the foreign scholarship. The figures are there. Foreign scholarship, we don't give a lot, 50 at most. But for the local scholarship, we've expanded it. Last year, we gave 1,750 scholarships to people. Already, we have continuing students. And this will be our fourth year, yes. So altogether, we have over 4,000 students who are being offered local scholarship. In the past, it was just given to some few people, but we've expanded it now. You get 9,000 cedis a year, every academic year, and it's a lot of money. Enough to pay your school fees and pay your other fees as well, hostel fees and other things as well. But this year, we've decided that those who are not doing STEM, we want to reduce the amount that we give to them. Like I'm saying, the priority is always what? STEM. So if you're not doing STEM, we want to reduce it to like 6,000 or so. I'm not too sure about the figure. Then we come to economic empowerment. We believe that if we have a lot of unemployment in the system, it's an insecurity situation for government. We believe that every government's priority is to provide the teeming youth with employment. We know employment and its issues and all that. We believe that it's not only the formal sector which we should always look at. The formal sector, yes, we are looking at them, those being given scholarships, foreign and local and all that. But we also believe that the informal sector is also very, very, very important. And a lot of research says that the informal sector is about 70% of Ghana's economy, or even more than that. So it means that they have to be given a lot of attention. But unfortunately, we all know the literature is always against them. They don't have access to credit. They don't have access to so many things. So always they are struggling. And the system is so robust that people are not able to find their feet after some time. And a lot of them are pushed onto the street, and its social vices and all that also keep happening. So we, as a foundation, as economic empowerment, our main issue is to take care of such people. So artisans and SMEs key. Then you come to what? Is it farming? I'm not saying it so well. Okay, so we have the rice farming, beekeeping, vegetable farming, piggery, potatoes, fishing, and all that. The fishermen, we have a special package for them. And we've always been engaging Ghana Canoe Council. I'm sure it's that. Ghana Canoe and Fishermen Council. We've always been engaging them. We've taken a lot of their kids, their nephews, their kids. We've put them into artisanal training, free of charge. A lot of them, free of charge. And we are training them so that they don't also depend on the sea. As a matter of fact, we want to reduce a lot of efforts on the sea because the fish stock keeps dwindling every year or every day. And what do we do for such people? So they will tell you that my office near, I hire my office. So they will call office no. Office near. What do we do for such people? As much as they have already, quote unquote, but what about their kids? What about their nephews? They are not getting the scholarships to do the STEM and all that. What can we do for them? So we have a program called the Skilled Artisans Project, where we take them out of their villages to various places, and they are going through artisanal training. And when they are done, we provide them with their inputs for them to startup inputs for them to start something. So we're doing a lot on the artisanal side. Just last Friday, we finished together with MVT, National Vocational Training Institute. We finished a 4-day program for master artisans within the Western and Western North region. We selected some, and it's something that we do from time to time. Last year, if you recall, we also graduated 400 students. We did it at the Jubilee Park. This year, because of COVID, we're not able to do anything for the artisans. We were told that, they always have to congregate and all that, and we all know the implications of congregating and all that. So because of that, we have at least 2,000 people ready, which 2021, we've already registered them. We are just hoping for the green light, and then we'll register. And a lot of them are from Western region. Now we've added Central, we've added Greater Accra, and we've added Eastern regions as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know that COVID-19 has brought a lot of challenges to all of us. Many speakers have spoken about it. I don't need to go over and over and over. I think I'm presenting a GMPC factor and what we are doing not only for Western region, but for the whole of Ghana. So on this note, I'll just end, and if there are any questions later on, I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kwame Kakari. We can give it to him again. He's the head of Economic Empowerment, GMPC Foundation, Economic Empowerment. So we saw piggery, we saw all that. Charles. You know Charles, right? Okay. So we'll invite questions for now we watched the movie, right? The Agadas and the documentaries we saw. Do we have any questions for them before we move to our next speaker? It was scary. I don't know if you saw that. This is specifically to IOM.
Mine is not a question, it's a suggestion. Makafanti. But the impediment in there, most of the people are who go through certain things. This sameness like this, they won't be here. Most of the people. So they should form groups in various communities and our districts. I will educate people on settings, and then movies like this, and you should be on the street. They gather people and then they show you to them, so that they will know what it happens to people who go through such migrations. Thank you.
All right, solid one. And just to remind you, we are live on Facebook. Search for Kofi Kinaata online, and you could join the conversation online as well. Your question?
From Abdul Gafar. My question is there. Obi go through the process you are getting now. What in about what return in Bagana? Abana IOM. Once why what born in Pano. I'm one son, one could be massing. Maybe a woman in Juma and I be down. No,
all right. Would you want to take them and answer all of them to go? All right.
So I'm Michael, and I think what we have heard is quite a serious issue. Mine is to support what our brother said about showing the movie on the street. I think we can, IOM and Team Move can partner with GPRTU and then maybe VIP so that they show it in the buses. Because nowadays, those places are where we relax and watch more movies as compared to we watching it at home. And since COVID has also brought an online space, I think they could have a YouTube channel, team up with some of the stars like Kofi Kinaata and others who are ready to support this vision, and then make sure that they stream it or they put it on their YouTube channels for people to watch. I think in that regard, it is the best way to go up with it. I've written something that is just about it. I'll share it later. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.
So mine is also a suggestion, and I think a question follows. So I think most of these people who go through such migrations has to do with the process in acquiring probably the necessary documents to embark on the journey. So if I think things should be put in place to help them with visa and then passport acquisition, it might not even be the financial, but the processes. There are people out there who even pollute them. There are people who say, what did you visa, passport, and all those things. So it has to do with the education that they also need. And I think that we also don't have to wait for them to go through that situation, and when they come, we actually put or set up certain things for them. I think we have to put measures in place where they will not even be compelled to embark on such journeys. Thank you.
Let's clap for him for that. Are we done with the questions? Any contributions? All right.
Please, I'm Mabel. Please, my question is that what do IOM do to these connection men and others? Because there are those who influence our youth to embark on those journeys. So please, Famia, what do they do to them? Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mabel. So in the absence of any further questions, Mr. Wilmot. Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm happy for the questions that have come up. I think the first was a suggestion that we form groups and gather people to air this documentary. I must say that it's already in motion. We cannot cover it all. We have a lot of migrant groups. In fact, the strategy this time is to set up migration clubs in senior high schools. Because of course, like you've all seen, it's when they leave school that they are forced to embark on such treacherous and perilous journeys. So it's a very good recommendation we take on board. It's something that it's already being done, but like I keep saying, it's not only for IOM, it's for everybody. Like you've come here, you've seen it, it's on YouTube. There's the hashtag Let's Talk Migration. You also contribute. We've launched a national multimedia awareness raising campaign. I think I didn't want to bore you with all those interventions, but now that you brought it up, let me also give you a better view of some of the multimedia awareness raising campaign we are implementing. In fact, our Goodwill Ambassador is here. I'm sure you would have seen this billboard around Park Grant Runabout, where Kofi's picture was boldly on that billboard, and there was a safe migration message with the inscription, Let's Talk Migration. We've rolled out a lot of documentaries. It's aired on several TV stations. We have printed a lot of posters, banners, almost all means that would get everybody, especially the youth, to understand the message. That is the medium through which we use. So we have a lot of Facebook ads, we have a lot of Facebook posts. You need to go there and tag yourself so that your friends can also ask you, what is this message about? And through that, you also help propagate the safe migration gospel. And what do I provide for returnees? If you listened to my submission quite well, I explained that those of our brothers and sisters who through unfortunate means have ended up being stranded, primarily, especially in Libya, we have from 2017 till date, we have returned over 1,800 Ghanaians. And when they come, you all saw the treacherous experiences, so we provide them with psychosocial counseling. After the psychosocial counseling, then we look into the various reintegration projects that they can implement so that their lives will be normalized, that they will fit back into the Ghanaian society. and also be able to fend for themselves. Because I indicated that a lot of our nationals moving across the shores and borders of this country are economic migrants. They will tell you they are going to seek for greener pastures. And so this is what we try to do to set up interventions and reintegration programs. There was someone who also gave a good suggestion that we need not wait for the youth to embark on such perilous journeys before coming to their aid with reintegration projects. In fact, under the same joint initiative, the approach this time is different. Within the Western region, we implemented a community-based intervention where we partnered with the National Vocational Training Institute. We did focus group discussion with both returnees and non-returnees, and they said Takoradi was expanding. There are a lot of construction activities. At the time, they said there was the port expansion, and also with the mines, they need heavy-duty machine operators. And so we partnered with NVTI to train the youth, both returnees and non-returnees, so they acquire skills on the heavy-duty machine operation. We further supported them to acquire legitimate licenses from the Driver Vehicle and Licensing Authority. And then NVTI further also certified them with proficiency certificate, just to show that once they are able to show it to potential employers, they are readily employed. So it's something that we are doing, but I'm happy you brought it up. We have a lot of donor interest. We'll continue to approach our donors because we are a projectized institution. And with the availability of more funds, these interventions will be rolled out in a much more larger manner than you are seeing now. So it's something that we are doing. So I thank you. And then YouTube, I've already indicated that it's still ongoing. And then what are we doing to prevent irregular migration? Like we are doing now, we are discussing it. We are letting you see the reality so that you will make an informed decision. We've partnered with the Ghana Immigration Service to undertake a lot of community sensitization campaigns geared towards letting people know of the dangers and the alternatives. That is why I was super excited when it came up that Kofi Kinaata was doing this youth seminar. Because like I indicated, many a times the youth will ask you, what are the alternatives? I can't make ends meet. I don't have a reliable job. Now it's here. These beautiful ladies and handsome men are here. They are making it here in Ghana. The opportunities here. I came with my colleague. She's Julian. She's German. Ghana is not a failed state. There are opportunities here in Ghana. You go to the airport, you see plane load full of people, foreigners, coming into Ghana. And then we, the youth, will say there's nothing here. We are rather going there. What we are saying is that migration is not a bad thing, but it should be done in the right and sustainable manner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kojobo. We can do it better for him. That was insightful. So we go next to our next speaker, Mr. Vincent Annan, who is the CEO of Sekondi-Takoradi Chamber of Commerce and Industries. Mr. Annan.
Thank you very much. Once Kofi is here, we are emotional already. Kofi, but I need Malafaka before we disperse. Yes. Please, is it connected? Okay, I have a few slides I would want us to look at. Yes. Okay, so just to start, I want to reiterate, I coming from commerce, Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I've always been wondering how come our members, businesses, apart from the fact that most businesses fail within 3 years and all that, generally businessmen and women also complain on something that I am struggling to accept. And they say, oh, Takoradi Bosom won't pay business. Hey, business, we go. But so I want to move it from international movement across borders to even movement within Ghana. Maybe I will still add the international one. If most of us who grew up in Takoradi, if we take an assessment of our environment, we'll realize that most of our colleagues that we grew up with, a good part of them are out of the country. And then the next set are in Accra, by and large. My worry is, whilst we move from Takoradi to Accra and Kumasi, we are taking commerce along with us. We are reducing the size of our market. And if I say this and people struggle to agree, then I ask them to compare our present Takoradi market, as in our market circle, the economics there, to that of Kaswa market. Kaswa just came up. But Kaswa is more economically vibrant because of the people. So the more we live here, the more we make the place loose and difficult to live. Unfortunately, when our colleagues come back from Accra, recently one said, I'm quite portrait, I'm impressed. So he was telling me, I said, you are lucky you've come to meet me here and telling me this. And I know all of us, we are looking at a future, a Western region future, a Takoradi future where we try and stay here. So we provide, so you buy, when you sell, there will be people who have to feed. And so more mouths will be available to buy. That is what has happened to Accra. I wonder if we divide Accra into 10, we can match up with any 1/10 of the size of the market there. So it's a huge problem for us. Yes, this is my outline. I would want to, we've stayed here for a while, so I would want to run pretty fast. We're looking at employment opportunities for the youth in the Western region. And I've mixed it up with unemployment because they go hand in hand. And we're saying, please, can you get me the intro? Today's young people are the most educated generation ever. Nevertheless, they encounter difficulties in entering and remaining in the labor market. For too many of them, the transition to work is problematic. Opportunities for young people to find a job are bound to the general state of the economy and overall employment situation in a country. This is by ILO. So this is the situation. And out of all that, our Kumasi people would have been very ingenious and bounce onto doing business. But for us, if we get a bit frustrated, then we want to go abroad. Some institutions have defined youth. United Nations look at it as persons between age 15 and 24. AU looks at it as persons between age 15 and 35. Same as Ghana. Ghana's draft youth policy see it as 15 and 35. So I'm sure most of us here are still in the bracket, including our icon, Kofi himself. Kofi Anabo. Abula. Okay. But still, I care about the youth, yeah. 9. Okay, so unemployment, we're looking at the proportion of the economically active population who are not yet working but are available for work. It's so stressing. I mean, if you look at a statement like that, people who are available to work and want to work, they have the desire to work, but work is not available. Majority of unemployed population fall in the ages of 15 and 29. Here it is saying, okay, so we're looking at some of the factors contributing to youth unemployment. One is the skills mismatch, which is looking at it as the education system continuing to produce graduates whose training and aspirations do not match the requirements of modern industry. I think it's going on a lot. Fortunately, some institutions like Sekondi-Takoradi Chamber of Commerce presently has a very working MOU with Takoradi Technical University, the business school, on looking at various things. We also have this, we will put it on paper. Now we're going to have an MOU, yes, so that we fashion out how we are approaching going forward. Attempts to promote SMEs to absorb labor have not yielded the desired results due to several factors, including high interest rates, weak and unreliable infrastructure, etc. That principally is talking about challenges businesses feel and the fact that it doesn't allow businesses to grow at the required pace and so employ more people. Employers find it difficult to hire young persons because of the lack of labor market experience. You are going out, then they will put there, vacancy, but the first thing is 10 years working experience. If you don't start, how do you get the experience? Serious. And pathetically, I also found this somewhere, that the youth are the last to be employed and first to be fired in case of turnaround strategies. When a company is struggling and they have to downsize, the first target is the youth. There's also the high population growth. There's high labor, supply of labor. When supply is more than demand, then there's this problem in terms of employment. Then again, low vacancies. The formal sector is unable to employ less than 5,000. That's close to 98 surviving formal sector and all of that. So, please, let's go. Let's go. Looking at some forms of employment. Employee, permanent and contractual. If you're an employee, then more or less, any company that looks at any of their stakeholders as an employee, then that person is a permanent and has a contract. Then we also have the agency work. These are employees or workers of an agency, and they place you on temporary assignment or jobs with hires or employers. We see this more with the security companies, for instance. They have standby security personnel, and any outfit that requires their service, they send you there. So even your place of work can change based on. So you don't have any arrangement with where you are working. Your employer is your agency. We also have the freelancers. They are independent or self-employed people and not an exclusive employee of any particular organization. They have their tools. You see them better in Europe. They have their van and move from one place to, all their contact details are written there for you to see. Then we have internships, a pre-contract engagement designed to provide further insight into one's chosen career. They are usually paid around the minimum wage. Yes, that is what the statutes say. But in Ghana, we try to go around. Most employers, once you come on internship, you have to just be there. Then apprenticeship is also a program combining on-the-job training in the workplace with an employer and off-the-job learning with a training provider. As they build up their knowledge and skills and gain qualifications, apprentices also get paid. So at the chamber, our advice, we encourage people to even go do voluntary assignment and all that, because we think that there's a bottom line. Anytime they will put 10 years working experience, assuming you've gone through some of these not very permanent